Bobber stopper, bead, my 9-inch bobber, sinker, swivel, hook with a lead line. Good Walk Talk Fish Gang. As always, it is Chris back. You guys, it is coming along pretty quick. It is almost February, which means Paylake season is going to be right around the corner. Some places they start opening back up around the beginning of March, around that time. So with that time being the past time, I'm going to go ahead and stock up on tackle. I'm back at a tackle box in South Point, Ohio. This is where I get most of my tackle stuff from for Paylake fishing. I thought that it'd be a cool video to bring you guys along with me, show you what I fill up my tackle box with as far as the handful of things that I need. And also, I'm doing this intro outside of my car, and it's got off audio, so I apologize, but I want to show you guys something. This sticker right there, it's been on the back of my car for a very long time. It's not the same sticker, but Walk Talk Fish officially has merch up. The link is down on my channel, so you just go to the About page, and it will tell you everything you need to know. Click the link, it takes you right to it. You guys can get t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, as well as some kind of stickers like that if you guys want some for the back of your vehicles. You guys, I'm freezing. I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to bring you guys with me. We can start filling up my tackle box, so I can go ahead and start finding me a setup this year, because I don't have a setup yet. I sold all my stuff in the wintertime like an idiot, and I missed my rods. I missed my reels. So now I'm researching for something that I like, something that I want without breaking the bank. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, we got to get the terminal tackle to use on the rod and reel that we do get. So let's get here out of the cold weather. I'm freezing. All right, first thing you want to find is your hooks. This is going to be one of the most crucial parts for your fishing, especially if you're Paylake fishing. I'm a big fan of 6/0 Gamakatsus. You cannot go wrong with these guys. Now, don't get these Gamakatsus confused with circle hooks. One thing you'll learn about circle hooks is if you're Paylake fishing and you're like me, you will go to troll for these fish, and a circle hook, as soon as it buries the bobber, you're going to pull the hook right out of its mouth. Circle hooks are made to let the clicker go off, whatever, reel down on it, sets a hook. Not in Paylake. You guys don't want to be throwing circle hooks in a Paylake unless you're an old timer, you're just sitting around. You want to use the Gamakatsu's octopus. You want to use something that's a straight hook, maybe an offset hook, something that you can really set the hook into, so you're not pulling the fish out of its mouth. But the next thing we're going to need is sinkers. So for the bobber I use, let's see if we can find what we need here. These guys right here. This is going to be 1 ounce sinkers. You guys may think this is too heavy, but for the kind of bobbers that I run, these weights sit perfect. Okay, so your next option, you got hooks, sinkers. You want to find what bobber you're going to use. I recommend Lighthouse. Stay away from Lighthouse. You're going to throw it, you're going to bounce it off the ground, that's going to break. You don't want those. You want to stay away from anything ridiculously tall. This is like 12 inches. You don't need that. That's too long. Me personally, I use a 9-inch Joe float, and I run tape all the way up it. You can get this is a 10-inch, I believe. You know, there's different ones, but these Joe floats, these run very well. You can run tape up them. I also like these little Zing floats for smaller lakes. Run tape all the way up it, so all you see is that. So Zings float, little Joes also work very well. Sometimes they won't look like this painted. They'll look like this as well. But it's completely your call. I recommend stay away from these. Stay away from this section. Stay away from this section. You want these kind right here, the Joe floats, 9 or 10 inch. That's what you want. All right, you get your beads. Now you got to get swivels. That way you can tie everything off and then get your lead line to come down. So swivels. All right, get your beads. You want to make sure that when you get your beads, you want to make sure that you look at the holes in the beads to make sure that it's going to fit with your bobber stopper. You want to make sure that your bobber stopper is not going to go through the beads itself. Like some of these are just too big. So just use your common sense. Make sure that your bobber stopper is not going to get stuck inside your bead, and you should be fine. But for now, we got just about everything. We got beads. So let's see. We go from top to bottom, right? So we got bobber stopper, beads, bobber stopper, sinkers, hooks, swivels, and then there's a couple odd and end things at the house that we already have. All right, guys, we are back home. I got everything rigged up the same way I would rig it up as if I was going to fish at a Paylake. I don't have my own rod, like I said earlier, so this is just temporary setup on a dumb rod that I got in the corner just to show you guys how I'd rig it up. So pretty much you have your bobber stopper on there. I don't have it on at the second, but you would use one bead. You want to make sure that it doesn't go inside your bobber stopper or your bobber itself. So a bobber stopper bead. My floats that I like to use, my 9-inch float, 1 ounce sinker, because after I tape them up, this is literally all you can see. And in colder months, you get something that's called soft bite. So when it's only sticking out that much, if the fish barely bites it, well, then it's kind of disappeared. So that's how you want it. With the ounce sinker, it makes it sits great. A decent sized swivel, that way you can tie your knots to and from. And then you want to run your lead line anywhere from 8 to 12 inches to keep things off the ground very well and to keep things away from your sinker so you're not holding down your bait with the weight. This is just an old hook out of my tackle box. I will always be running a 6/0 Gamakatsu. This is not a 6/0, this is just a random hook. But I'm going to bring you guys closer so you can see what I'm running with real quick. That way you get an idea, and then we will wrap up the video, and that way you guys can go ahead and hop off and start rigging up your own stuff. All right, so you guys can see I usually have a bobber stopper, a bead. You can run a bite indicator if you want. I don't use one. If you don't know what a bite indicator is, it's just this guy right here. People will run it and set it on top of their bobber. I don't like one, so I don't use one. But bobber stopper, bead, my 9-inch bobber, sinker, swivel, hook with a lead line. It's all right there. Very simple. If you guys want to do this setup, all you need is literally what we shot for earlier. I'll go ahead and raise you guys back up here so you can see me. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Any of this helped you. We have a couple more videos coming. I probably look a little crooked right now. But I'm going to drop a couple more educational videos on Paylake fishing, I think, to try to help people. We got a couple, we got like a month and a half left before Paylake season starts. So I want to give people all the knowledge that I got and the best I can to help people go to a Paylake and expect the best experience ever and not feel dumb. But if that's something you want to be interested in seeing, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I post that. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Walk, talk, fish out.